Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I'm back with a video on how to take the conversation hearts, the wooden conversation hearts from Dollar Tree, and alter them. And for Valentine's or for any time of year, because hearts are for any time of year, not just Valentine's. So let me show you how they look. So these are those. I just want to burn myself with this candle. Let's put it right there. These are those conversation hearts. So you can see on the back. I could have painted this all white and make it look nice, but I don't care. And I've covered them in napkins. So I've done a collage in napkins. I've used a script stamp on top, and then I've done some framing around with a black Stabilo, and we're going to go through all of it. But look how beautiful it looks. And to make it look more vintage, I dry brush pink on the sides. And before I begin the whole process, I do a white gessoing. 2 coats of white gesso. And these are all done with napkins, you guys. So get your napkins out. If you still have a Tuesday morning, check that. I think there's still some Tuesday mornings. They have the best price on napkins. But you know what else? And they always have like real pretty vintagey looking napkins. Sometimes Dollar Tree has some pretty napkins. Always look there. And also, like any of your places like Marshall's or TJ Maxx, they have the pretty napkins too. They're not $1.25 or maybe $2, but you know, $3 or $4, you'll be able to pick up some pretty vintagey looking napkins. And here's one more that I haven't quite finished off the edging with the black Stabilo. I did do the pink here, but I'm going to show you how. But I'm gonna finish this one off with you. I didn't finish this one off on purpose. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your buy a conversation heart from Dollar Tree. Okay. Get as many as you want and get them soon because these sell out really quickly. I put 2 coats of white gesso on here. Okay. So there's your 2 coats of white gesso on here. And then, or you can use a white paint if you don't have white acrylic paint. Make sure it's flat because this makes it easier to work with. You can do 2 coats of that if you don't have gesso. Okay, so now the next thing is you're going to get some napkins. And I've already kind of there we go. I've already kind of laid this out so I can kind of knew the napkins I was going to use. Okay. Aren't these gorgeous? So I've already kind of cut some of them out. I didn't trim this one out because I want to show you a little trick on trimming out just the part of the napkin that you want. Also, let me show you one more trick before we get started. You know when you have a napkin at first. Oh, this was another one. All right, cool. All right. You know when you have a napkin at first and you have all the layers on that napkin? Let me show you. Open up the napkin. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with napkins today. You may know these tricks already. You may not. All right, so you open up the napkin. Take a piece of tape. It could be masking tape. It could be just any type of tape. This is just what I happen to have here. Go to the corner of your napkin. Go like this. And this will, look at that, peel that off. Now this one has 2. So again, get another piece of tape. Go to the corner again. Some napkins only have 1 of the layers, but this one had 2 layers, so I believe. We're going to find out. Yep, there's the other layer. Isn't that an easy way of separating napkins? I was so happy when I learned that trick. Okay, just want to show you that trick. I've already separated the napkins we're working with. All right, so let's begin. Okay, so we want to lay everything out first before we get with the glue part. All right, so I'm going to show you a few really cool things here. Okay, so I think I want this to go here. Yeah, right in the center. So this is the napkin here. Isn't it gorgeous? I think I have, yeah, here's the original napkin. These gorgeous. I think I got these at Tuesday morning. So beautiful. You guys, I have an awesome napkin collection. Between a Dollar Tree in California that I used to go to when we went on vacation, they had the best party section I've ever seen of any. I never seen any Dollar Tree have a party section like that. And the napkins were gorgeous. Between that and Tuesday morning, I have gotten just some beautiful napkins. Okay, so you want to take a paintbrush, and preferably like a liner brush, a real thin one. Okay, so you don't get the napkin too wet. And you want to go around the heart like this, and this gives you like a perforated edge so that it tears it off easily. You're also going to use this trick to take out just the part of the napkin that you want. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. You guys look out for another video with these hearts. I'm going to do some Thinner / assemblage art on these hearts, and that's going to be my next video. So look out. I kind of want to get to Dollar Tree. Hopefully they have more of these hearts, because I'm really hooked on them, because they're for any time of the year, not just for Valentine's. Okay, so see how we pretty much have shaped that? Okay, so the next thing I want to do, we have this piece here that needs something, right? So let me move this aside. When you, like right now, I just want this flower here out of this napkin. Take your brush, dip it in a little bit of water, your liner brush, and go around. Don't go right up to the edge because the water spreads, but go around. And what this does is it gives you a nice little perforated line to take out exactly what you want out of the napkin, and then you don't end up ripping your image. This is another trick that I learned, and I was so happy when I learned this trick. And then you can just pull away, and it just pulls away the area that you want left. Okay. There we go. And I like the torn edge, because these torn edges decoupage a lot nicer. Okay. Let's bring our heart back into. Okay, and I can put this right here. And look at that. It fits in there pretty darn good, doesn't it? Beautiful. Now, if you have any little spaces, you can fill those in with napkins. But I'm going to show you another trick where you don't worry about any spaces that you have to fill in. Okay? That's where the stamping with a stamp comes along, with a script stamp. But we'll get there. Okay, and then I have this little piece of napkin. Keep your leftovers for little fill-in areas if you need a fill-in area. And I do need a fill-in area right over here. Okay. All right, for one, let's do it like this. Almost too much water right there. Okay. I don't want this straight edge, so I'm going to go here just to get rid of the straight edge. So I just put a little bit of water. Remember, when you're decoupaging with napkins, in my opinion, don't have straight edges. And it's going to look a lot prettier. Everything's going to blend together. That's just a trick with collage, period. Okay? Gorgeous. So now let's take our brush with the water, go along the edge here. There we go. Trim that off. Go along the edge here and trim that off. Now, don't worry about it being a perfect fit. If you have a little hangover, you're fine. That little hangover is going to add to the design afterwards. And I'll show you. Okay. So let's take this piece off and let's take off this piece. Okay. A lot of times, and I'm pretty sure we can do it now, you don't have to worry. You can put the glue right on top and it will. Yeah, you know, I'm going to do it this way. Sorry, I lied. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and take some glue here. You can use Decoupage medium. You can use matte medium. I'm using matte medium. You can use Elmer's glue. Whatever you have will do. Okay, now remember this was in the center. And then you want to take, ooh, what is going on with my camera? There we go. And just go over it with your collage medium. Your glue, your matte medium, whatever you're using. Now, right here, see I have a little bit of overhang here and there. Go ahead and just fold that little bit of overhang over. There'll be areas that you might have a little overhang. There's areas that you may not have a little overhang. The edges are gonna look more distressed, and I'm gonna show you how to do a distressed finish on the edges here, okay? So this overhang is just gonna add to it. So don't worry about the overhang. Just go ahead and lay it down. All right, next. I love doing this. It's so fun, simple, quick, easy, and beautiful. So I love doing it. Okay, again, glue. We already put glue everywhere, right? So now we just lay this down. Now, I'm doing mine very vintagey looking. It comes out very vintage, as you've seen. So I do not care about wrinkles. In fact, I think the wrinkles add to the whole thing. So, but everything I do, I make look vintage or old world. And then it gets you out of that perfectionist thing. And to me, it looks better. And number two, it takes the stress away. You're crafting, for goodness sakes. Okay, so I want to put this right here. So we're going to put that on. And then, isn't it amazing what you can do with some beautiful napkins? This is why I always collect napkins. Always go to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree doesn't always have the best napkins, but once in a while they do. Make sure you pick them up and pick up more than one pack, because the really pretty napkins at Dollar Tree go quick. And they're only $1.25, so you can afford to pick up 2, 3, 4, 5 packs. If I literally like a napkin at Dollar Tree, I'll pick up 5 packs. And that way also you'll have them in your stash, and then you can also share them with friends. So look how beautiful this looks. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to pause you guys for a second. I'm going to get my heat gun out. I'm going to dry this. I'm going to get my heat gun out, dry this, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay. So let me pause you guys real quick. Okay, so I took my heat gun and I dried it. And the thing that's nice about when you use a matte medium, it dries quickly. And so does a napkin. So the mixture of two dries really quickly. Great for videos. Okay, look how beautiful that looks after it's dried. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so the next step is we're going to take, okay, here it is. I'm going to take some Stays On. Okay, you can use any ink pad you have. I'm going to use it in dark brown. I don't want, because it's so pretty and pink, I don't want the harshness of the black. So this is a really dark timber brown. So it's almost like going to show up black, but it's a little bit softer than that. So, and this is a script stamp. Okay, you guys know I use this script stamp on everything. I have several. This is my favorite one. I need to bust out my other script stamps because I have a lot of beautiful script stamps. They tend not to be cheap. They're like $10, $12. Use a coupon, but get one in your stash because you can use it in so many ways. Especially if you guys have watched my videos, you know I script stamp everything. I just love that look of script in the background. Okay, see how right here it's white, like it wasn't covered with the napkin? It's going to be covered with this stamp. And it's going to look fabulous. Hold the stamp for just a second so it makes its way with the surface. Even if you're doing any type of stamping, don't just stamp, lift it up. Hold it for a minute so that the ink has a chance to penetrate what you're trying to do. Beautiful. Now I'm not going to re-ink it right now. I'm just going to do it again. And we'll see if we need to re-ink or not. Okay, hold that on. Lift it up. Nice. Now there's still quite a bit of ink on here. And there was an area right here that needed to be stamped and a little area down here that needs a little more stamping. And I'll tell you where else needs more stamping is right here where I was saying where we didn't put hardly any napkin. There's a little white space there. At least have the script stamp on there and that's going to look fabulous. Perfect. See how fabulous that looks? Even that little white spot there. That's why I say don't worry if you have areas where you don't have the napkin on the edges. That fixes it. The script stamp does. And it gives it that more vintagey look. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is see how the sides, they look unfinished because I have some, I had some overhang and I just overhung it. Okay. What we're going to do now, if you want to make this look clean on the back, you can just put another couple coats of gesso, take off this sticker, but I don't really worry about it. It's for me. If I was going to give it as a gift, I would take off the sticker and paint the back white or pink and finish that up, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we want to give this a distressed look on the sides, right? So I told you that overhang, don't worry about it. We're going to take some pink acrylic paint. You could also do this with black, okay, what I'm about to show you. I didn't choose black this time because I want to be a little bit softer look than that. We're going to give this a, we're going to dry brush that. Oh, before I dry brush it, let's do this. Take a Stabilo. A Stabilo is like a black a black watercolor pencil. So you can take a black watercolor pencil. You could take the Stabilo. You could use a water soluble crayon. You could use a oil pastel. If you use oil pastel, you only have to use the heat of your finger to melt it. Otherwise, you got to wet your finger to smear this a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to do this on the edge, and this just gives a nice finishing edge to the heart. Wet your finger and just smear it a little bit. See how nice? It just finishes it off so nice. I do this to almost everything, even in my art journaling or my artwork a lot of times. I do this. This really helps to finish everything. well, finish these edges. Okay, so we're going to do this all the way around on the edges. Okay, so then wet your finger and go all the way around. You can wet your finger on a baby wipe or use your own DNA. And I'm using my own DNA. Now, I wouldn't use it if this was a gift. I would use the baby wipe, but this is for me. Okay. So look how nice that looks. See how that really finishes it off? All right, so the next step, the last step, I think it's the last step, take a paintbrush. If you can find this, find one that's kind of stiff in your collection of paintbrushes. The stiffest one you have. If you don't have a stiff one, that's fine, but try to find a stiff one. And that's about the size, okay? You want to take, I'm just using some cheap Apple Barrel, Walmart acrylic paint. You can use Dollar Tree acrylic paint, whatever. I'm going to dry brush it, which means use a brush dry. If it's wet, just dry it off as much as you can. You don't want very much paint. I just dab that into the paint, but wipe that off. You barely want any paint on here. Okay, so I just wipe that off. And you're just going to brush over this like this. You know what I did last time? We're going to, wait a minute. We are going to, let me wipe this off. Because this isn't good. This is going to be too messy. I forgot this is the next step I did. Before you dry brush, sorry. Take the gesso again, or the white acrylic paint, and clean all this up with white acrylic paint, okay? Or it's going to be too messy. And just go along the edge with white acrylic, the white acrylic paint or the gesso. I'm going to use white acrylic paint. And this will cover up that napkin that we did. And it'll leave it looking a little bit rough on the edge in places where the napkin is. And that's going to be fine because we're going to do a distress finish on the edges anyway with the dry brushing with the pink. So the dry brushing will go over this with the pink paint, okay? But we need to clean it up a little bit more before we do it. So just take a little bit of white. Now these are all the colors I've chosen. If you want to choose a different color, choose a different color for any of this. If you want to use a different type of napkin, if you don't want to go vintage, you want to go more steampunk, if you want to go more, whatever you want to do. Also, if you don't have napkins, but you have some scrap jelly prints or a bunch of scraps left over of scrapbook paper, use that. I'm just showing you this with napkins, but you can use any of that. All right, let this dry. And then I will show you. Oop, I just don't want to touch this. All right, let me get out my heat gun again, dry this, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to finish this up, okay? Be right back. Okay, you guys, so I dried the edges now, okay? After putting that one coat of gesso on there. Also, I mean, I probably would have put the one coat of gesso and then done the framing with my black Stabilo here. But just the sake of the video and time and stuff. So if you have any areas where you need to go back, if you do it the way I did it, you can go back and just fill in if any of the white paint got into areas on here that you want it to be black. And I have a few areas where that happens. So like I said, if it wasn't for me making the video, I would do the white edges first and then do this stabiloing. Okay. So this is where we're at. Isn't that pretty? Does it look so vintagey? Now it can look more vintagey. See this, how uneven that looks there? Because that's where the napkin was. But we painted it white, so that's enough there. Take our brush, like I said, very little paint. And you can, so that's what dry brushing is. Taking a dry brush, if it's wet, dry it as much as you can. But very little paint is what the dry brushing part of it is. And just go over. So what you're doing is you're making it look like the paint has chipped. Okay? And with those little uneven parts, it even look more vintagey, right? Good project if you want to try to rid yourself of being perfect. We want this to look very vintagey, very old world. So we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for vintage. Right? Right. See how nice that looks? Look how nice that looks. It looks like it's been, like this was painted over with pink and the white's coming through. So that's just perfect. Okay. And that's how you finish it off. I absolutely love these. Okay. And then I have these two left. I didn't do it to both of these. I got to do the black. I did the pink on both of these, the pink distressing over the white, but I have to then put the black edging around both of these. I didn't do that to these two. I just found them. I guess they were over on the side somewhere. Anyway, so let me clean up my mess, and then I will just show you all of them all together before we end the video. So just a second. Okay, so here's all the hearts finished, and I'll just bring them up a little bit so you guys can see them. Aren't they beautiful? And then look at how vintagey that looks. But kind of a soft vintage. Like I said, if you can do that same thing with black on white, which makes it look like old wood that's like, you know, chipping off. But since I was using all this beautiful pink, I just felt like that might be a little harsh. Even though I use black as a bordering, I think that looks good. But I think that much black here would look too harsh. So I'm glad I used white there, or pink there. But if you want, you can use the black and dry brush. It's all up to you. In fact, I'd like to just make some hearts with all my scrap paper, like my scrap pieces and scrap fabric, and do some like that. Wouldn't that be fabulous? But my next video is going to be, I'm going to do some Finnerbare assemblage art on these hearts. And now I want to go pick up like 10 more hearts. So I already picked up 8 of them. I think that would be enough. But I just love, and look how nice and thick the hearts are. I just love them. And one of these will be, or two of these will be, one of these will be a gift for a friend. What a great gift. Wouldn't this be a beautiful gift? Absolutely gorgeous. So let me know, are you going to create some of these hearts? What do you think about them? Join our group. It's called Our Magical Little Place on Facebook. The clickable link is below. If you make these, make some, show us. Also, even if you don't do arts or crafts, you knit, crochet, if you do junk journaling, you do art journaling, whatever you do, come join us and come share. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have a like an Etsy shop or any type of shop where you sell your work, you can leave links to videos, leave links to different stores you sell, anything you want like that, okay? And then, like I said, whatever your art is or your crafting is, come share it with us and inspire us all so we can see your makes and be inspired, okay? All right, that is it, you guys. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram and join our group called Our Magical Little Place. Clickable link below. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.